Tuperos y tuperas, today on Doop by the River, it is the round 2 edition of Doop by the River. Your Philadelphia just capped off their second franchise playoff win. We're going to discuss the emotions from Saturday afternoon in Subaru Park, and we're going to look at Tuesday night. As Tuesday night, we got a matchup here between Orlando and Nashville, and we're going to say, who do we want to see here at Subaru Park next Sunday? Ladies and gentlemen, don't you dare go anywhere because you do not want to miss this episode of Doop by the River. And let's get this started, guys. Done! And that is right. Well, welcome everyone to Doop by the River, the show where we follow everything Philadelphia Union, the team that just beat the Redbulls in the playoffs. And of course, we are brought to you by Philly Sports Network. Before we move forward into this fun-packed episode, a lot of emotions here in today's episode of Doop by the River. Guys, if you are a fan of the Philadelphia Union, consider liking the video to push us out there to get us to other Union fans, and as well as subscribing to the channel, whether this is on El Parcero Phillies YouTube channel or on Philly Sports Network. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. And of course, if you do enjoy podcasts, consider subscribing to PSN Radio. You can find us and all of your other favorite Philly Sports Network podcasts on there. You can find us wherever you stream podcasts from Apple, Google, and Spotify. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we dive in, let me introduce to you guys my experts in duping, and I'm sure they're as excited, as emotional as I was on Saturday night. Let's first start off with my man, Mr. Zach Lobasso. Got everything from the couch over there, and he got some good takes and good view. You saw there, Zach. What's going on?
I had a good view of the game. It was a pretty boring game for like the most part. Like
you don't say.
There really wasn't much going on. And then the Union got those couple chances late on. And obviously they had a wonder goal to win the game. But yeah, it was weird. Like I was expecting that to be and it was back and forth and open, but no one created chances from the fast breaks that they had. So yeah, it was interesting. It was definitely an interesting match.
It's weird, Zach. It's like both these teams don't have the same structure.
The identical, we don't want the ball. So if we have the ball, we're not going to be good with it structure. Yeah, it's crazy.
And build with the kids. It's worked so far for both of us. So, hey, we'll take it. We'll take it. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, I'm loving the hat. My man, please welcome Justin, that orange-hatted Union fan Freiburg. Justin, dude, what an afternoon, brother. Oh, my God.
Yeah, man, that was honestly, we'll talk about it, but I think easily the loudest I think I've heard that stadium at any point. I didn't have a voice for a few days. I think I just really got it back today. It just unreal, and it's just so Union to leave it to late, literally late. It's just man, it was just straight up insane. I still can't believe it.
That's so Union. That's for sure, man. Yo, I gotta ask, how warm was the orange hat though?
Pretty warm. I mean,
nice.
I had this. It was chilly. Had a nice pair of long sleeves, gloves, and of course me, being me, wearing shorts. And people thought I was crazy, and I'm like, I wear shorts. I wear shorts year round, man.
That's craziness.
The only time you will catch me in pants or in tights will be either if I'm going to work, going to a nice event, or a soccer game that I'm playing in, because sliding on turf sucks. So you gotta wear tights to protect those knees.
Hey, Justin, listen, when it comes to the cold, nothing an IPA can't fix, or a couple IPAs can't fix for sure.
Or in my case, having more hair on your legs than you do your head.
Thank God we got hair there, man. Thank God we got hair there, my man. All right, guys, listen. What a game. Honestly, what a game. Look, it was 123 minutes, and kind of like Zach alluded to, it was a boring game. I mean, I'll be quite honest, but there's not a lot of goals. It wasn't like 2019, right, where it was back and forth, Union come back, you get a wild goal from Marco Fabian, and extras. No, it really wasn't that. It really, like we just said, both these teams, and we were talking about this in the preview, both these teams are built very similarly. Their tactics are very similar. Like Zach said, they do not like to play with the ball at their feet too much, right? And that's kind of what happened. But, for the soccer peers, like for us 3 soccer nerds here, like, we love to see that type of stuff there. And Edwards, by the way, he's not a bad fullback. He looked like one of those like center backs who like an old school center back, but he had a little pace. He definitely had a little pace on that. Was it that left wing there? But it obviously, in the full 9 minutes, a couple opportunities for the Union, couple for the Red Bull, but nothing really that was absolutely threatening. In extras, that you definitely got some entertainment. You had a sitter miss by Kasper Shabilko. We'll talk about the attack in general in a little bit. The moment of the match where literally I was just like ready to just leave the stadium. Kamala goes on a breakaway, and I'm like, oh my God. Oh no, Dios mío, no, this can't be it. This can't be it. And then Andre Blake with a huge save there. And I was like, this is it. The soccer gods, the sports gods, they want us to win a playoff game here tonight. And of course, in the 123rd minute, Jakob Glesnes. First off, guys.
You mean Erling Haaland, right? Like, you mean Erling Haaland.
He's a Haaland Jr. He's Haaland Jr. They look alike too, man. But
they're both Norwegian. They're both the same. They played.
So national team call-up. I mean, come on, guys.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
You can't
come on, Norway.
You can't just have Haaland scoring the goals. You also need Glesnes there.
Come on, you need the World Cup needs center back bangers, man. That's how it works.
Sure. They do.
Oh, whoa, Yeti Mina? What's that's different. Corner kicks are a different story, but
yeah, I was like, come on.
But
being taller than everyone else is a little different.
But guys, like the pure class and skill to handle that ball, right, and to just hit it perfectly. And Carlos Coronel, I still have a soft spot for Coronel for his time here. Dude, that there was nothing he could do with that.
He had no shot.
There was nothing. He had no shot. And of course, everyone goes wild. You see the meme of Tim, myself, and Justin going crazy. Tim's recording us all. You see, the best part, and you guys can can correct me if I'm wrong. The best part is seeing Jimmy again, just darting it. He said it himself.
God,
that was the fastest he ran since he played soccer in the MLS. And you see everyone just in jubilation. And before we start off by talking about what went down in this game, what I want to ask you guys, the impact of Jakob's goal. We saw it. We've seen it a million times. And I'll start with you, Justin, man. To you, the impact of this goal, where does this rank in Union history? And how were you feeling in the moment it was happening?
I mean, I think I'm going to be I'm just going to say for myself, I think this ranks as the best Union goal I've seen. In terms of the context of it's a playoff game, it is literally one of the last kicks of the game. It is, you are throwing everything at it. The crowd is palpable. And in that moment, as he chests it, the entire crowd, and you look at the panorama video of it, the audio, you can hear the entire crowd scream, shoot. As the ball drops, he volleys that, and as soon as I hit the back of the net, stadium erupts. I mean, I'm curious at the decibel level that hit, as it sounded. As soon as I saw that in the air, I was like, I was tracking it, and then it hit the back of the net. I was delirious. Just at that one point, I think I was jumping up and down so hard, I blacked out. I lost vision, and I just was. I came to, and I'm still jumping up and down with the kid next to me. Who's we're both and you could see my face in that photo that Tim shared. Literally, my arms in the air, jumping up and down, just. Both, but just completely screaming my lungs out and just going, oh my God, just repeating oh my God 50 times, because I still couldn't believe. And seeing Jim run down the sideline, I mean, come on, that had to he probably went home and probably cleaned those shoes, because probably left a little bit.
I didn't think of that.
A little bit of scuff marks, a little bit of grass marks, maybe. But I mean, man, that, like I said, I don't think I've ever seen the stadium erupt in that manner ever. And I think easily it is for me one of the top goals, if not the top goal I've ever seen.
So I guess it begs for me to ask, and I'll ask this to Zach. Zach, what to you was more impactful, the 2019 Marco Fabian deflection for your first playoff win, or this one, which I think I will say this one took much more skill, and you get your second playoff win.
So for me, now, just for like the record, I was at the 2019 game. I was not at this game. So emotionally, I'm a little taken out of this one as opposed to the Marco Fabian. But like looking from the outside in, I think that the 2019 goal was still more impactful. And just because like Justin said, it was like a monkey off the back. Like you really, especially coming back like down 2-0 at one point in that game, like you needed that goal. If they don't score that goal, the Union can still win the game on Sunday, right? Like they still go to penalty kicks. But I think that the way that the game in 2019 was going, like we needed that goal. And what it did for the club was really move us forward into the era of the homegrowns and us really starting to dominate the Eastern Conference. Now, what I think that the goal did for us on Sunday, this past Sunday, was really highlight the fact that Jakob Glesnes is probably the best finisher on the team, which is an issue. Which is an issue, right? Like he every time he has a crack, like you think it's going to go in, right? There's a difference there, and then with your forwards who, when they shoot, you're like 50-50, like this could go in, this could not. And we saw that in a couple instances on Sunday where Glesnes did have to come out of the woodwork and save the game. And I just think that I guess we can segue onto the forwards now because it is a serious issue. Like it's a serious issue. And I think the funniest thing I saw after the game was like, I think a week ago, Bry Wagner on Twitter tweeted like, I don't understand all the hate Casper gets, like blah, blah, blah. And then he quoted his tweet on Sunday night. And he's like, I get it. And I thought that was so funny because we were going back and forth. And I was like, I get what you're saying. Like he is our leading goal scorer and whatnot, but like the chances he misses are like, he misses so many and he just like, and the thing that he does well, which is finishing, he just does so like it's well in his terms, like it's average compared to everyone else. And the rest of his game just leaves everything lacking. Like that was one of the worst games I've seen Casper play, like in general, like hold up play, making runs, all that stuff. Like it was just not good.
Yeah, that is a good point, man. It is a concern for sure. You know, the fact that we do lack at times that forward play that you know can make us survive. Like, look, playing 123 minutes, and we do need to give credit. I don't think a lot of us are giving credit to the Red Bull. Like they did give a good performance, and for them
they played well. Yeah, they played well.
And for them to make it into the playoffs the way they did was pretty remarkable. I mean, we were talking about 2 months ago. You got Lexi Lawless criticizing them on his national media podcast for Fox Sports, and then you get the fan base start putting out all those tweets, and it goes viral. And then they make the playoffs again. Like it's crazy how many times they made the playoffs in their history. And they made it into our game. It was a good match for all 90 minutes, or all 123 minutes. But again, that is a problem. Like the Red Bull are the Red Bull. It's a younger team, right? We on paper we had a lot more talent, but that is an issue. And I felt like Casper again, like he just looked lost. He looked a step behind the attack, and it's really to me the missing key to this team. I think I like the midfield. I like the back line. Obviously, how can you not love the goalkeeper, right? But to me, the forward position is the one position that we lack. Now, Justin, I'll throw it to you, man. Like can this Union team make a run with the forwards and the attack looking the way it does, man? This has been a problem all year too, man.
I mean, yeah, like as concerning as it is, and you know, Zach, I do love that you brought up Bry because like I you and I have had that same conversation, and like I've been willing to defend Cap. Like I've given, yes, he is streaky. Yes, he is inconsistent. He's unfortunately your leading scorer. When he does well, the team does well. But that miss, like, I tried to justify it in the moment. Like, Sergio did put a little bit of heat on that. But Casper doesn't get his feet set. And, like, Danny Higginbotham said it best in the broadcast. He leaned back on it. Like, I don't care if Sergio blasted that in. You lean over that ball, and I don't care if you miss it wide. The fact that you missed it over the net
with no one, there was no one there. Like it was open. It was open.
Like at least with Corey, it was like he got pressured, and on the broadcast, Danny goes, "Well, I don't think it should have impacted." I think it did because that was a bang bang play, and I don't know if Corey was really able to kind of get his hips over it before Gutman came in. But do I think they can make a run? Yeah. I mean, listen, we talk about it. This has been an all-year thing now. Will they have to address it in the offseason? Yes. It's why early reports, I say reports have come out, linking us to a forward from an Ecuadorian team. Like, it's a thing we need to address. It's clear. The rest of the team is complete. You have the pieces. You need that final touch. And I love Casper. Would I love to at least keep him here next year? Yeah. No, if the money's right, yeah, let's entertain some offers. But like, you need someone who's going to be a consistent finisher. Again, I thought with the Red Bull, it was going to be a tight game regardless. Like 2-1 for me felt like a stretch because I mean, think about every game so far. It's been like 1-0, 1-1, 1-1. Like, it wasn't exactly like there was really a break open moment where it was like, here's where it is. Like, they were all close games. I knew this was gonna be it's a Union Red Bull game. It's gonna be a knockdown, drag out affair. 2019 felt like a bit of an anomaly because remember, that's out of Andre's career, that's one of his statistically worst years. Yeah. And it's not statistically bad, but in terms of him, that is his worst season. And I mean, a couple of those goals were on him. And so you don't, if those don't happen, you don't go to extra time. You don't have that Marco Fabian goal. So I think there's a bit of context there. But with this, I think the biggest thing is I think the entire team is basically trying to compensate for the lackluster attack. And at this point, I mean, they've done enough of a job where it's a big red flag, but it's I don't think it's one they can't overcome.
That's a good point. Well, hey, listen, FC Cincinnati, Albright, I know you love you some Casper. He's here for you. Austin, I know you could use some goals. We got some here for you. I don't know what's going on with San Jose. That's going to be an interesting offseason over there. But hey, we got a striker here. We got a Polish striker. They call him next Lewandowski. He's here for you guys.
Oh, good God. The next Lewandowski. That would be like, could you imagine if someone actually made that that comp? Like, they're like, yo, he's going to be the next Lewandowski.
Just got to give him the right sit.
Trying to upsell
dude, that would did you guys see Lewandowski's goal today? Bicycle kick in the Champions League, just
why does that not surprise me?
Yeah, no, it shouldn't, because now if I told you that Casper scored a bicycle kick, you would be like, no, he didn't. That's not true. He didn't do that.
I'm still surprised he won the Golden Boot for the Champions League.
Oh, my God.
I mean, listen, for Casper.
The fuel that gave people to say that Casper was a good striker, I was like,
Casper's a goal!
I mean, Zach, you're wrong. It would be a bicycle kick, but a tricycle. It'd be like,
he's got to have people holding him up.
He'd be like literally tripping over himself near the goal line and like knee and then head it in, kind of like a la Phil Jonesing it.
Yeah, dude. Oh God.
But
God, Casper.
I'll say this: we have all season to talk about the striker position.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
This next, whoever the Union bring in this position, they need to spend more than $2 million.
Zach is just going to go. Zach's just going to go. I got a list.
Ernst, dude, come to my office, Ernst.
I honestly will once the Union are out, whether it's next game, hopefully not, or after they win the championship.
Hey.
I will make a list of like 20 forwards, and it will be detailed. It will be statistical, and I will send it. I will figure out how I get it to Ernst's office.
You know why, Zach? Because we're not talking one MLS Cup. We're not talking 2, 3, 4.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm saying, LeBron. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, listen, Zach's gonna be Ernst's Santa. He's
There
gonna
you
make
go.
a list and he's gonna check it twice.
And then
He's
Ernst is going to bring me the present.
Wait, hold on, I got it. He's gonna make a list. He's gonna check it twice. He's gonna find out who's hot, who's on ice.
Hey,
Yeah, exactly.
look at Justin, huh?
Exactly.
The orange
Soccer
hat,
Claus,
yo.
Soccer Claus is coming to town.
Yeah, I am for sure.
My man, you know what we need? We need an orange goalie kit for you now, so we can go with that.
Yes. Oh, Justin wears the full orange goalie kit with the orange hat. That would be
actually, I think there is a picture. I think I wore this one of my last one of the Casa League games, but this would go really well with our 11v11 goalie jersey. I'll have to show you guys.
I haven't seen. Well, were the kits that they sent in the group chat the ones that we're going to be wearing, like the black ones?
The ones in the design team.
I'm not in the design team.
See. So we're basically
not part of that
finalizing.
department.
Okay. I was not privy to that.
So once we get an official finalized, I'll make sure to send
All right. Awesome, because I'm excited.
Let me ask you guys about the attack as well. Do you think? Are you worried about Sergio, number one? We know his injury concerns. I mean, he missed an opportunity on Saturday Saturday afternoon as well. You know, when he's hot, guys, he makes our attack dangerous. He really does when he's going at it at back lines. Are you guys concerned at all of Sergio?
No. I mean, I think you knew from the start Sergio wasn't going to start. I think you're coming off an injury. You were gonna wait till the second half, and you did. And I think what he did was he did exactly what we talked about in order to exploit the Red Bull. He stretched the back line, and for once, his runs, some of his runs, I still think he can make more direct. He does like to kind of loop on the back line, and then he makes those looping runs towards the corner and then has to come in. So it does kind of create a worse angle. But he did exactly what would work against Red Bull and what I think would work, against other defensive teams. I think if we face Nashville, I think that works the same. Like, if you have a teams that are defensively sound and that kind of bunker in, you need someone that can stretch the back line so that your midfield can fill in. And does Sergio start? I mean, now that you have a full week to rest, I don't know. I still lean towards no. I think him coming off as a second half sub gets more impact because if you have, I think the Christmas tree formation could work with either team. I think that Gazdag Paxton combination actually worked pretty well. I think he was always going to be that first sub. I think that was kind of, and if you were going to get Sergio on, I think that was part of it. Like, I think that had to be, that. But I think your midfield played well. Leon had a fantastic game. I mean that one play where he puts Kyle Duncan off the ball and then on the ground plays it up to guy that started the attack. And I think the entire midfield showed why. And now Ali might be a question mark after coming off injured and also running down the sideline and probably
tripping and falling. He didn't run down. Did you see that? He literally gets off the bench, takes 2 steps, and collapses.
That was. But I think Sergio starting, I would assume would hopefully be would not be the case. Like, I think his impact as a super sub is widely understated, and I think having that kind of a player for any team that wins MLS Cup, you need someone that can be that super sub. Yeah, it's great to have the star players, but every team has had that guy that, hey, things aren't going great in the second half or we need a spark. We're throwing him on, and he's going to make an instant difference. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why Antoine Hopenote has made a career, whether in MLS or USL, as a super sub. Some players make their careers as super sub. That's not a bad thing.
Chicharito for Man U.
You get that
30 minutes, man.
You get the consistent work. Like you're getting a job, you're getting minutes. Like may not be starting minutes, but hey, if you do well with limited time, not every player can do that. Sometimes it takes players to get into games. Like I'm sure, if Lewandowski was a super sub, he might not be as effective as he is as a starter. Some players take a little bit of time to get into the game. Some players can make that instant impact in like a 20-minute substitution.
So you're saying Casper should be a super sub?
Although for Lewa, tell that to him when he scored that 5 goals in 9 minutes when he came off the
But
bench.
that's also in the second half. Like that's a little that's the thing. Like I think some players work better, and especially with Sergio as a speedster, that's like
when the back line's tired. Like it makes total sense.
Exactly, like someone who he can give you a hard 20-25, but that's about it. Like for the real, like it's the rest of that time it's probably going to be some jogging and not hard, but like for the time Sergio was on the field, he was hauling ass and he looked good.
I think
that's the best thing.
I think we need to also talk about the potential regular season genius that is Jim Curtin in the fact that he subbed Gazdag out all the time just so Gazdag could play all the minutes in the playoffs. Because when Sergio was coming on, I was heavily expecting Gazdag to be getting subbed out because that's how it's just been the whole season. Like Gazdag was playing 60 minutes, 65 minutes, and he was done. But I think that Jim's like, we saved you all season so you could be that dude in the playoffs. I mean, and he played great. He played great.
Oh my God, easily. Like I said, it's been him coming into his own.
He's so good. He's so good.
Yeah, like I think people didn't realize like, hey, this is the 10 we needed, and I think you're right. I think Jim looked at it going, hey, you just came off a full season. Let me get think about it. He really didn't get consistent minutes until what, like August?
The last 2 months, yeah.
Yeah, so like you look at him evolving, yeah. Okay, why did you sub him out 60-65? Well, think about you're saving him those additional 25 minutes.
Yeah.
25 minutes, say 2 months. Say you're saving him almost like 300 minutes.
Yeah.
Of not having to so you're with the playoffs, hey, you can afford to push the envelope with players to keep them going.
Mm-hmm.
Like so yeah, sometimes it's the same thing with with baseball, with pitchers, with like inning counts. Like sometimes you save them for when you need them, which is obviously going to be the postseason.
Yeah.
Once you're Joe Girardi, you go crazy with that pitch count stuff. But what was I going to say here? I wanted to bring up as well, guys. I really liked Paxton getting tested in this game. If you guys remember 2019, I felt like Red Bull were really pushing Brendan as far as physically wise. I remember they were getting some nasty shoves in him, and they were really just getting physical with Brendan. So that was something he really didn't see too much that season. And I thought that they did the same to Paxton. I thought that was a great maturation process for Paxton. Because listen, as he gets older, obviously he's going to build into his body. Was he still 17 years old? So he's still going to still grow. And I think those are the type of moments, he's getting valuable minutes here, guys, playing in his first playoff game yesterday at 17 years old. It was great, as well as Jack McGlynn. Shout to Jackie boy.
I was so happy when he got subbed in. I was so happy.
Like, I think he is the Ali heir apparent. I really like, in terms of I know we talk about Leon, but I think Leon could go down to the Brujo role if Brujo gets sold.
Yeah.
Because looking at what McGlynn does, I think the biggest upside is his distribution. And that's the one thing that Ali does pretty well, is combining and giving, moving the ball up. And he doesn't really have much speed. And I think Jack isn't exactly fast, but he's got enough, obviously the endurance, to be able to push the pace, to be able to give you that, and to be that, that smart distributor, and allow Leon and maybe Bueno, or if Brujo's still here, allow them to do the defensive side of the game and still provide something going forward. And I think that's something that, we've talked about it, and it's something that has been brought up is, well, you saw Ali get hurt, and you saw him, really So the question is, okay, who else in the midfield brings something going forward? Leon is raw in his offensive game, so has a lot to work on. Brujo is a good distributor, but not exactly great in the offensive third. I think really it's either McGlynn or Paxton. And Paxton, for all the physicality that everything thrown at him, shrugged it off. Didn't let it bother him.
Exactly.
Just rode into it, would take the foul, and would get up and would go hard. He created some chances. There's the one where he literally did one-on-one with the defender, pushed the ball around, and was trying to get ridden off the ball and forced his way onto the ball to create a chance. Like, that was the thing with Paxton. I think Jim knew, okay, yeah, Jameer's out, but Paxton has really developed into his own. And I think next season, like this season, was like, okay, he might get some minutes. It's not going to be anything crazy because neither did Brendan, even in like 2019. Like, okay, yeah, he was getting starts over Marco, but that was after Marco was hurt and the suspension. Like, Brendan was getting minutes, but not nearly as consistently.
Right.
In 2020 was really when his minutes exploded, and I think Paxton could be heading towards that same trajectory of his first season. Remember, it took the first half of the year. He really wasn't getting any minutes. And then the second half of the year, I think Jim even said he was practicing better. He was like, he didn't complain. He worked hard. He kept trying to get at practice, and it was showing. And I think next year, if he takes that right step, could be, could start getting looks. Maybe won't be till the following season, but like, I think throwing Paxton into this game, it wasn't like, oh no, he's not really tested. It's like, okay, we've seen what this kid can do. Can he do it in this scenario? And I think the answer is yes. I think Paxton had a great game. Unfortunately, unlucky with some of the finishing, but hey,
Right.
as a midfielder, you can really only do what you can do to create those chances. It's not always on you to finish them.
Want to ask you guys, we did not have Jamiro Montero or Olivier Bazo. It was a little bit of a surprise, but they could not make it for this match here. Do you guys believe that impact was felt at all? And do you think they'll have an impact going forward in these playoffs for us? Maybe add to the attack for us. Big pieces.
So I think attacking wise, the Bizo being out did, but like Powell played very well. He was good.
He gives a max effort, man.
He does, and he doesn't create like Bizo does, but he definitely defends a little bit better than Bizo does. So there was that. Jamiro, you could have thrown him out there or Paxton out there, and I think you were going to get similar results either way. Like, the way Paxton plays that second 10 spot, I like a lot better than Jamiro because Paxton drifts wide a lot more, and he creates that space for Casper to, get the ball to his feet, which is where he needs it because if you didn't watch the game or any other Union game this year, Casper is very slow, like the slowest. Like, he can't run. All right, he stands and he taps balls in, or at least taps them to the goalie.
Tap it in.
All right, he cannot run. I don't think I've ever seen him score a breakaway. That could be incorrect. Maybe the one against Atlanta in CCL, but that wasn't even like him being fast. That was just him catching up to the play. But yeah, I think that Jamiro, you could put him back in and he'd be okay. I think I'd prefer Paxton in there. But I would assume if Jamiro's fit, he'll start. Jim just likes Jamiro, so I would assume. And I also think Paxton would be very good off the bench anyway, because he does bring a little bit of that pace that we talk about off the bench. Right. That's nice. But Bizo, I think, definitely starts if he's healthy. But I think that attacking wise, we did feel it from Bizo, but not Jamiro. I don't think that there was anything that Paxton did that Jamiro would have done any better or differently.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I think that, listen, I've said this all year. Olivier gives you a lot going forward, but doesn't give you as much defending. Alves is a more consistent defender. For those who don't know, he is an MLS vet. He was part of that 2015 Portland Timbers MLS Cup winning side. He was a big part of that side. He's, he probably a very underrated signing, one that went pretty under the radar. and you've needed him, and he's come up big because I think, yeah, we've seen flashes from Nate Harriel, but I think you want to let him keep it and develop and let him grow, and don't want to throw him to the wolves there. And I think Olivier to that attack, it brings a lot more to that wing, and probably would have tested, because I don't necessarily think Gutman really would have been as big of an issue for him. I mean, Gutman, if you could force him onto his right, and he would just try to bring his left and force him inside. So then you could, you could partner with the center back or the midfield to kind of squeeze him off and take the ball. And they did that on multiple occasions. So I think that would have been fine for Olivier. But yeah, I agree with that with Jamiro. I don't think it really, I think starting Paxton really would achieve similar or better results. I think the biggest problem, and I've said this with Jamiro, is he really doesn't seem to add anything to the final third in terms of creativity, and it sometimes stalls the attack because he'll try to take on 3 players and bring it wide, and that's when it dies, and then that's when players are trying to run around to get the open space, and then he loses the ball. And I think Paxton, if he didn't find anything, he'd pass it back, or he'd pass it to Gazdag. Like, he was always looking to move that ball, to keep his head on a swivel, not to just, if he could take one-on-one, yeah, he'd go for it. But if it was to the corner, or it was, one-on-one defender, it wasn't 1-on-3, and let me see if I can try to go through everybody. It's like, hey, let me try to advance the ball. Let me try to keep the ball going. Let's try to get this attack going. It kept the ball moving. It didn't really stagnate the attack. And that's always been my biggest problem with Jamiro. As much as he brings to the offense, and I know Jim will start him if he's available, which he should be, I think the biggest issue is still the offense tends to stagnate when he gets centered over the ball for longer periods of time. And I think Paxton did a pretty good job. So I think at the very least, if Jim should can maybe consider keeping the lineup as is, maybe with Bizo coming in instead of Alvis.
Yeah. And then, but now if Ali doesn't play, I think you just throw Jamiro in that spot, like 100%.
I think so. Or maybe you put Jack in there. Maybe you run a Jack, Leon, and Brujo
crazy,
midfield. That would be crazy, but I agree. I think it would still provide a lot of stability, and I think it would create. Jack would definitely be able to be a distributor and allow Brujo to and Leon to kind of sweep things up.
Yeah, Brujo, the first 15 minutes, by the way, was giving me like Revs 2020 vibes in that first play. Like, he was dribbling in spots that he should not have been. And I was like, dude, you gotta stop. We're gonna concede because you're gonna try and dribble again. Which
it was almost like that Lions Steelers game that ended in a tie. It's like, no, you have the ball. No, you have the ball. No, you have the ball.
Yeah.
That's crazy stuff. All right, guys. Well, listen, that was a great afternoon, but unfortunately, we have to move on because now our playoffs.
Reminisce a little more.
Guys, we have a journey ahead of us here. Now, next Sunday, 5:30 is when we are slotted to be playing. Now, we do not know our opponent yet. We have our potential opponent playing tonight as Nashville SC facing off against Orlando City SC, and the winner will have the honor of coming up to Chester, Pennsylvania. The privilege
of playing on the banks of the Delaware.
The most prestigious soccer grounds around the world, ladies and gentlemen. The Azteca Camp Nou
Yeah, some say it's the 10th wonder of the world.
I would agree.
The Old Trafford of the U.S.
There you go. So listen, I'll be honest. I'm going to obviously ask you guys, who would you rather face off against next Sunday? I won't lie. I want to play Orlando for trolling purposes only. We all know how Orlando likes to talk. It's fine. I don't know. What is it down south that those MLS fans just love to talk? I don't know.
It's too much sweet tea. Too much sweet tea.
It gets the map all going.
And then Florida's Florida, man. You can't really explain that.
Florida. Yes, I would love to have them come up here, beat them, and have the Orlando fans crying. Derek can all block us again, and it'll be wonderful. But look, I to me, I respect the ever living crap out of Nashville. Obviously, similar team as us. Good defensive team. I don't think they have as good goalkeeper, but Wills did his dang this year for sure with
Yeah,
Nashville.
his best 70s California Highway Patrol officer impression.
Dude, that's a thing right now. Carter Hart's got it too here with the Flyers. I don't know.
That's like man, if he's wore those aviators,
Porn
man, that's
stash.
just, yeah, that's the porn stash, man.
But no, I obviously want to play Orlando for those purposes. Nashville, I understand everyone's reason. I think it would be kind of similar to what would happen this past Saturday against the Rebel. I think it would be a game that would be low scoring, probably go to extras in my opinion. But the one thing that scares me, gentlemen, is I think right now Nashville have a better 10 and a better 9. And I think that would be the difference. I do think Gazdag will eventually be better than Mukhtar. I just think it's going to take some time, as we've talked about on this pod plenty. And CJ Sapong, man,
The revenge.
I love you, CJ. But who do you guys want to face off against next Sunday?
I mean, I think the obvious choice is Orlando. I think simply because, yeah, Nashville is the more defensive team. You've played Orlando. I think playing them at home, even with what they have, their defense can easily be picked apart. I think them coming into the playoffs, they've kind of been hot and cold, very streaky. So they're not exactly the model of consistency, and I think if you can that's a team where you can get a couple on them and kind of just ride the game out. The biggest thing with Nashville, like I said, their defense is amazingly solid. They do have a good midfield, although we were able to kind of pick it apart by having our center backs roam. And I think if you can bypass the initial wave, I think you can break them down. I think we had a myriad of chances that probably could have finished, and the game could have been a lot different. But I think the biggest thing, CJ's been playing well, and Nashville's pretty heavily reliant on Mukhtar. So I think you can game plan around shutting him down and forcing the rest of the team to try to compensate. And they like to cross the ball in. They're going to try to give it to Mukhtar. They're going to try to figure it through him. Orlando is kind of the same way. They like to get things to Pereira. I think him and Nani on the front kind of it depends on what you get. Like if Nani gets frustrated, that offense kind of sputters,
as you know very well.
But I think the thing is, like, Orlando can score in bunches.
Mm-hmm.
Nashville can't. Like, they're not exactly. There's a reason that they had 17 draws. Like, I'm like they're a defensive team. They don't score a lot. They don't give up a lot. So I think it'd be the tougher of two. So I mean, the obvious choice is that it's Orlando, but I'm not really scared of either team. I think the Union. It's gonna be a close game, but I think the Union would probably compete a little better against Orlando than Nashville.
You bring up a good point. I like the Union's experience now. They have experience in the playoffs now, which is it's something we couldn't say 2 years ago. So definitely key there for us. But Zach, who would you rather face off against?
I would also go with Orlando. I'm looking at the stats now, and actually, interestingly enough, I didn't realize this, but Orlando actually scored 5 less goals than Nashville did this year,
Wow.
Which I find kind of interesting. But they've conceded 15 more goals than Nashville has.
They've been very inconsistent this season, right?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. They had runs where they went unbeaten in like 6 straight or something like that, and then they lost like 4 in a row at some point, I think. But yeah, it's just the matter. Like we talked about our front line, right, and how inconsistent they are, streaky, whatnot. In that sense, I'd rather play a team that conceded 48 goals than one that conceded 33 goals, right? And like going forward, I like Daryl DK starts, whatever. I think our center backs can handle DK. Like I think Glesnes actually matches up very well with him because he does have some pace, but he's more about like, let me get the ball, hold it up and turn you. And I don't think Glesnes is really going to let that happen. And then Elliott can kind of cover in behind because at that point, he'll have the space to, get a head start on DK before he even gets a chance to turn Glesnes, if he even does. And I like Nani. If Nani plays on the left and Bizo's out there, that scares me a little bit for sure. But overall, I think, like Justin said, like their defense is very, very like suspect and easily penetratable. If that's the word. Penetrable. There it is.
I was about to say, Zach, this is a PG-13 podcast, sir.
And yeah, so I just think we match up way better against, like, and like Justin said, if we play Nashville, we can beat Nashville. Like, I don't think that's going to be a much of a problem either. Like, I think that we match up well against both teams. I just think that given our scoring woes and their defensive woes, I think that we want to play Nashville more, or Orlando more than we want to play Nashville.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. One more point I want to say. As an MLS peer, someone who defends this league to the core of me, I really hope that tonight in Nashville, those fans down there just pack Nissan Stadium. Get 30, 40,000 in there packed, rooting for Nashville. That's what we want to see with our league. We want to see the continued growth. We want to see sellout stadiums. Obviously, Union above all else, but I want this league to continue its growth. And look, despite the fact the MLS announcing 2022 schedules and all that good stuff, look, this playoffs, we got to keep capitalizing. Every year, this league keeps getting better, and the playoffs are a very important part about it. You're doing playoffs for the American sports fans, so we got to capitalize on this. And I know you two can't wait, because I can't wait either, for some gravy on Thanksgiving with my MLS playoffs. Are you kidding me?
Oh, my God, I'm so excited.
Let's go,
I love it. I love it. People were like, oh, why are they competing? It's like, I'd rather watch the MLS than watch the NFL.
Especially with the slate that's on Thanksgiving. Like besides the night game will be fine. Buffalo and
it might not.
It might not. That's true. But dude, the Bears versus the Lions. Right, the Bears versus the Lions, and then the Cowboys with no weapons. Like CeeDee Lamb probably out. Amari Cooper probably out. Zeke might not play. Like, it's just going to be such a boring day of football. So yeah,
why not watch some
hectic? Watch some hectic soccer.
And MLS, listen, it could be wacky, man. It could be. What did we have last year in Orlando? Was it Orlando NYCFC or Orlando New England?
Yeah.
With
wild.
They didn't have another goalie, right?
No, they put someone, and he said
because Galles got a red
right.
So they had to put Schlegel in the center back in as a goalie, and I remember watching it, the ugliest save ever to keep them. It was just like it was so bad. It was like so stunted and.
Who said the MLS isn't entertaining, Justin?
Oh yeah, God! The
MLS is nothing if not entertaining.
It might not be entertaining.
It might not be the best soccer, but it is. It'll entertain you. It will entertain you.
That is for sure. Well, gentlemen, that's going to do it for another pod. Guys, seriously, thank you so much on this hectic week. We had a tough time coming together. Obviously, it's the holiday weeks, and we can't miss a pod because it's playoff time, man. It's not the regular season, it's playoff time. So I really want to shout out Justin and Zach for making it on here. And guys, eat a lot of turkey. All right, watch a lot of soccer on Thursday. Take a couple sips of the gravy, and you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving for real.
Yeah,
enjoy time with your family as well.
And I'll see you both on Sunday.
Hey! Doop, 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 doop. Zach is coming to the zoo. Ooh, ooh. Let's go, Zach. I'm excited now. Let's go.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm excited. I haven't been to a game since the pre-sci went, but that was...
Right.
Yeah.
And guys, I think we do need to shout out Jared. Seriously, those ticket updates, super clutch. He updated me yesterday that Sons of Ben was almost sold out. I was like, fuck. I gotta get my tickets, babe. We need tickets. So seriously, Jared, we love you. You know, Duke by the River loves you. So we want to thank you for sure, my man. That's great work he's doing. He's doing the work of the Lord, man. The work of the Lord there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for another episode of Duke by the River. Thank you so much for tuning on in. Do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Duke by the River and more Union Talk. And, of course, you can find us wherever you stream podcasts from Apple, Google, and Spotify. Check us out on PSN Radio. You can find all of your Philly Sports Summer podcasts on there. Ladies, that is Basso. That is Justin, that orange hatted Union fan Freiburg. Beautiful hat you got on, Justin. Of course, I go by the name of Ed Parcero Philly, and we're telling you guys to DOOP on. Hopefully, we see you guys for the conference finals. Let's go, baby.